Yeah, yeah. Expand your minds a little bit, rap niggas. Check it out.
Let's give it a go. It's the cat with ridiculous flow. Ignorance is no excuse. This is shit you should know. And once it's known, guaranteed it's not forgotten. Like the most ingrained philosophical doctrines. Let's discuss all our topical options. Choice one, I can tell you it's fun to see rappers get done. Two, I can try to make you a little smarter and drop facts about the Penn Charter or the Magna Carta. Three will take us farther into the depths of space, and I can tell you how I saved the entire human race. But we've been there and done that, so our next selection is telling hood stories from every ghetto section. But since I have a predilection for not telling lies, we'll skip that, keep it live, go to choice number 5. And for the fifth, let's get it fifth, crack it and get it twisted. Nah, that's not me either, we'll see what number 6 is. The story of a misfit mixed kid who found a magic lamp that granted him 3 wishes. First he asked for a cure for all sickness, then changed his mind. I want riches and fly bitches. And lastly, man, I wish that I could levitate, but that'll have to wait for numbers 7 and 8. 9 or 10 could be about the time when my man drank 2 pints of gin and 6 Heinekens. And when I came home to find him in a pool of his own puke, I had to call an ambulance. I thought he didn't have a chance. If it wasn't for my quick thinking, he'd have been another statistic for the perils of binge drinking. 9 is my version, 10 I better let him tell. So prepare yourselves for 11 and 12. Number 11, the tale of old Reverend Edmonds. Every Sunday preaching a message of heaven. Through the years, he watched his congregation get smaller, but his faith stayed stronger than the rock of Gibraltar, and it never faltered, even as he stood at the altar and saw the tiny offerings dropped in the coffers. Still, he sought to reach those that he preached to, and always knew that he had something to teach you. So you've got to give the people not just what they want, but the things they need to, and that goes for Hebrews, Muslims, and Buddhists. Whether you're unsigned hype or moving the most units, because the truth is, if you don't use the music on more than one dimension, then you're on the flat lines. So in this pastime, you can take these last lines as a moral if your single subjects are singular, not plural. And that's the dozens, keeping y'all multi-dimensional. The monster, Mr. Arnell on the beat. Baby Black, what's up?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming by. Oregon Rogue, good to see you. Fitzcam, rub the belly, dude. Rub the belly. I got Nick from RBN here with me, and we are going to be discussing some stuff. So I'm going to get my
my great friend Nolly. Good to be here with you, my friend.
I am so glad that you're here. So glad.
Yeah, I've been sleeping. I haven't had a chance to check out the channel, so it's good to be on here. I definitely gotta check it out from now on.
I have a wide range of things and stuff going on over here. Mostly it has to do with cop watching and like First Amendment auditing, but there's a few sex talks in here and like me just being drunk. And yeah, I leave those up. I don't care. I'm leaving them up. It's me, and take me as I am, or change the channel.
Yeah, that was my approach. That's why it's shocking I'm at where I'm at now, and that's why I have my unapologetic approach, because I'm like, take it or leave it. I'm from the Midwest, man. From Kansas City. We a city of shit talkers.
Dude,
I give
you are the city where fucking Tech 9 comes from, and that just makes you so much cooler. That by itself, I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, my mindset. I just say my opinion, and I'm not gonna worry about if you laugh or cry at it. It's just my opinion. It is what it is. That's how we do things out here. That's why being in political discourse is weird, because there's so much civility politics, and that's not what I'm about. Like, at least not money. We're nice to each other, but it's like if we arguing a point, we arguing that point. We're not gonna let civility politics get in the way of that, right? But what you got pulled up here? What's this, Nolly?
Okay, so this is I'm sure most people have heard by now. In Alabama, there is a Hyundai dealership or factory, and they have kids as young as 12 years old working in the metal stamp factory, like doing shit that can get their hands cut off. And this is like now. This is now. This is fucking not 100 years ago. This is not some other country. This is America. This is how fucked up we are.
That's a Hyundai plant, right?
Yeah.
This is exactly what I've been saying for quite a long time right now. I told you guys that capitalism cannot exist without slavery. Capitalism can exist without this level of oppression, and they always find a way to do it, right? And they find loopholes. Like, hey, it's crazy how long they got away with this, right? Well, let's underage workers as young as 12. Wow.
Yep. 12-year-olds, little kids fucking out there. Okay, so my kids have been working since they were 13. But it was, a part-time job, and it wasn't doing anything really dangerous. I mean, my oldest was digging ditches at 13 and helping to put in like septic systems. And my youngest, she's been working at a writing facility since she was 13. Plus, she's had like other jobs, and she's 19 now, and she's got 2 jobs. My oldest, she's 25. She's got 2 jobs, and that's how they survive, because they cannot survive without having 2 fucking jobs.
Yeah, that's why I tell like capitalists and people who believe they support family values. I tell them you can't support family values unless you support like a 4-day work week or something like that. Because how can you be there for your kid if you're working 2 jobs? But that was, both my mom and my dad worked 2 jobs at one point.
Yeah, I bet you were a latchkey kid too. I was too.
Yeah, and that's the concept known as, at least in our community, the myth of the absent black father, right? Where Hollywood and white culture have been very critical, and I think some criticals are valid, right, of black parenthood, but a lot of times, like one thing I speak from not only my experience, but people I know where their fathers worked 2 jobs, and then when they was off, they was exhausted. Um, people dads being locked up for marijuana, and then they wonder why the black dad's not there, because our system designed them not to be there. We got wage slaves, the working poor. So
Yep.
I think that's the big problem that a lot of people don't address.
Did you see that anybody making less than 75,000 a year, their taxes will be going up consistently every year until 2034 or some shit like that? Can you fucking believe it? And most people in this where I live, their average income is about 35,000 a year, and that's somebody who's working. Now this is pretty much a retirement community these days because the logging industry went to shit. So you got to figure these people that are retired, they lost their pensions and shit because of fucking the government, and so they're living on Social Security. That's like $850 a month. They're fucking lucky.
Yeah, like
That's impossible to live on.
I heard that 60% or some number like that, like of Americans live paycheck. No, it makes less than $30,000 a year, and now they're adding all these IRS agents after an amendment passed where they're gonna be going after small dollar transactions of like under $600 or so, mostly going after the working class that use Venmo and Cash App, and that's why they spend the IRS so they can. They need more manpower to go after not the white collar criminals, but everyday working class people.
It's
like they definitely about escalate the class war, right?
Oh, big time, dude. They're making it illegal to be homeless in almost every fucking goddamn city and state in this fucking bullshit.
Missouri just passed they just passed a bill. I don't know the bill name. I know what it does. They essentially make it illegal for homeless people to sleep under on government land, and that includes under bridges.
But government land is public land.
Exactly. And another thing, because especially in Kansas City, you see like a lot of homeless people under our bridges. They trying to get rid of that. They trying to make that illegal, and that's like that's criminalizing poverty.
That is exactly what it's doing, and it's so that they can fill up their fucking goddamn slave camps, their fucking their fucking farms, their prisons and shit, so that they can have their fucking slave labor, and nobody's gonna care because the homeless people are now out of sight and totally out of mind.
Yeah, and
That's what they're doing. They want to fill up their fucking goddamn prisons. They're gonna pull another prison boom here soon, and fucking they're gonna release some people who have marijuana charges that have been sitting for way too fucking long, and they're gonna start picking up all these homeless people for doing nothing but being alive.
yeah, that's why Biden want to add 100,000 more cops, so he
Yeah.
can do more homeless feet. It's not just Eric Adams. Like Eric Adams is a psychopath. We covered him a lot, but that's Democratic mayors everywhere who pledged to increase police funding, who has the blessing or gave Biden the blessing in terms of increasing police budgets that are going to spread out to all these cities over the next 7 years or so.
So I wanted to. There's a part down here. Okay, so they are. There is a class action lawsuit. Sorry, yeah, I gotta get back on track. I smoked beforehand too. There is a class action lawsuit going on right now against Hyundai for their child labor fucking violations. But did you guys know what happens to most of the money in a class action lawsuit? Your local government gets it. Your fucking state government gets it. The attorney general for your state gets to decide where it's going to go.
That's yeah. A lot of times, like companies, Wall Street companies, as well, Hyundai, these companies that will use slave labor, or they will do gross human rights violations, and then the government or whatever, they will be fined they'll fine them like $1 billion, but then the company will make like $14 billion doing what they did, and that's they would eat the loss, like and that's by design. And now what you said, that's you taught me something new in terms of like a lot of time the government will pick those tabs up. Doesn't surprise me, man. This is a capitalist dictatorship.
It's fucking disgusting, and it's getting okay. So this family, so 3 kids from the same family were working at this fucking plant. A girl who was 14, she just turned 14, and a boy of 12 and a boy of 15. They are from Guatemala. I'm not sure if I don't think it actually says anything about them being, if they're legal immigrants or if they are seeking asylum. I don't believe anybody here is illegal because, god damn it, y'all already fucking know, god damn it. It's in our Constitution. It doesn't matter how they get here. If they have 1 foot on our soil and they are here saying that they need help, that they are here looking for asylum, it has to be fucking granted. And it doesn't matter why. It doesn't matter fucking. There was no rule stating, hey, it has to be because of this, and this. No. And that statue in fucking New York, what does that shit say? Bring us our what? You're tired, you're hungry, you're poorest masses.
Exactly.
So fuck anybody who says these people need to go back to where they came from. Because you know what? I'll say that to you. You need to go back to where you came from. Because my mother's family was here fucking when it all began. And I'm not throwing myself in half to get rid of half of me. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, you make a lot of great points. Another thing I always say, especially as a Marxist analysis, I was like, the second that you guys opened global capitalist markets and start exploiting the global working class, like as soon as you guys start shipping companies overseas, that's when you guys lost all mandates to tell what workers where they should go. Like, how can you guys ship companies overseas and ship jobs overseas, but then you guys deny the workers the opportunity to move? And regarding open borders, I always want to float this hypothetical to people. The only thing that prevents people from moving and changing states is what? Like, for example, if you want to open a sweatshop in China, people will do that, and they can do it easily if you have capital. If you want to pick up and go to France, move to France, you can do that if you have capital. So essentially, borders are a means to control capital and control the workers, which I reject. If you're gonna allow the capitalists free reign to travel between states and open up companies in other states, then that means the workers should be able to change states whenever they want to as well. Your moral argument is 100% on point. I just like to add that point too, because I'm like I can make the argument in many different ways. So I love what you had to say. Now that pass back to you.
Well, thank you. It's how I feel. It's how I think everybody should fucking feel about it. It's disgusting to know what's going on, not just at our borders, but here in Washington. So this was like 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. So there were children, and this is I never before this I did not know this. I didn't quite grasp it. Children do not have the right to an attorney. Children don't have civil rights. They don't have fucking constitutional rights. They don't have any fucking rights at all. They might as well be dogs. So what do you think happens when children are up here by themselves, sitting in fucking an ICE facility, waiting to go to court? Do you think there's a lawyer there to represent them? No, there's not. There's fucking nobody. So they send these little kids, 5, 8, 3, 11, up in front of the fucking judge, terrified out of their goddamn minds, seeing all these, living through fucking hell inside those fucking cages. And they're talking legal shit that these babies they couldn't even begin to comprehend.
Like, yeah, can you imagine that?
That's terrifying.
So crazy.
And God only knows how many of them just disappear. Oh yeah, they got sent back, but they just kind of disappear. We've got a massive fucking child sex fucking problem in the United States, especially among the fucking rich. I do believe that wholeheartedly, just because of what I know about fucking Florida. And I don't know, it's terrifying to think about these children just going to places like this where they got to work at 12 years old and take care of their brothers and sisters. And this shit should not be happening. A 12-year-old should not have to have a fucking job. Even if they have their parents home, 12-year-old should not have to have a fucking job unless they want one. Unless they want something that's fucking bullshit expensive. And I ain't buying it. Cough, cough. My daughter just got horse number 7. Cough, cough. She's crazy.
Yeah, I love how we essentially regress back to child labor. Capitalism is where things regress. And our ancestors are in the past who was inspired by socialist and communist movements, who fought and won workers' rights. You guys see how quickly the capitalist class, like if you think, like in hindsight, that was not a long time. Only a few generations, they got it back. They're like, oh, that was cute. That little labor movement that you guys thought you had.
You know what the fucked up thing is look at what Europe fucking did here just a few years ago. They literally got everybody together in several different countries and said at this day or on this day at this time, we're gonna stop doing what we're doing and what we're paid to do, and we're gonna go outside and we're gonna fucking stay there until they we get what we want. Well, we get our demands, we get living fucking wages and shit. And it wasn't even an hour. They planned to sit out there for a minimum of 3 days. It wasn't even an hour, dude. They couldn't even make a fucking phone call. There was nobody to connect their fucking phone calls, and they got what they fucking wanted. And this isn't just one country. This is several countries.
Yeah, that's exactly on point. Exactly on point, Ollie.
We can do it. It's just that it's going to take almost everybody to just fucking sit down and say, no, we ain't doing nothing else. We're done. And that's, the operators at the phone companies. That's the people at the news outlets. That's the people at fucking the grocery stores and the gas stations and the fucking hospitals. I'm not saying walk out in the middle of surgery, but walk the fuck out.
That's what now people are starting to call for a general strike. When we did our RBN general strike summit last year.
You're
Chris,
doing another one this year, right?
shit, we probably should. We probably will.
It
Probably
should be a yearly thing until it happens. Until there's enough buzz about it to where the entire country knows.
Yeah, because we did it last November, so we're gonna do it again this year. Yeah, we definitely probably start planning it maybe in September or so. It usually take about 2 months to put those together. But yeah, I got to put that idea. Our team is smaller than it was back then. Now there's
I
five,
know.
now there's five of us, so we can see what we do. Like it may not be as long, but we can definitely put like a Jones strike something for like a day or two. We just been putting we took a break on Summit just because we don't have like we want to keep the team small. We want to keep the team small. Just because we can't really compensate everyone, like we don't make a ton of money as a group. So that's what like there are a lot of people who have like expectations, and I'm like, guys, we
Yeah,
are
you can't go into YouTube with any expectations at all.
yeah, and you everyone was great, and there's no animosity at all. But the reason why people had to drop out. Cause I was like, I told people this is just a passion project. Like we had a channel with only like now we had 20,000 subscribers, but it's been less than that for
Woo! Yeah.
yeah. But we still like I don't know what people expect. Like YouTube, like it's not a glamorous lifestyle. I had to sacrifice life to do this, but we don't got the manpower we used to. But maybe we can get some help. And we might be able to do Jones Strike something this year. We see it's a good time because Chris Smalls is going around calling for a Jones Strike everywhere. And this motherfucker, I was thinking about doing this segment, but I'm thinking about letting it go because I didn't want to get into the drama. But remember when Hassan Piker like smeared our Jones Strike Summit? He just
Yeah.
had Chris Smalls on his stream, and I just saw this only because of one tweet. I just so happened to see on Twitter. He was on Hassan Piker had Chris Smalls on the show, and then Chris Smalls was calling for a Jones strike, and Hassan like hell yeah. I was like, this is literally what we did last year. We had labor leaders on calling for a Jones strike, and then he was like, oh, this is stupid. You guys see the grift?
He's
I
back
think
there.
we'll actually do a segment on that, but I don't know if I want to do the drama, but we see.
Well, I don't know. Chris has changed. Like, he doesn't even. Yeah, I don't know. As
Yeah.
long as he's still out there doing good, fucking right on, good on him. But
Yeah, like Chris, like I don't like agree with the celebrity stuff that he does, but like who am I to say?
but he wasn't like that in the beginning. He was
Yeah, he
fucking
getting
hella
results
low-key.
though. He getting results. I'm just saying that people are now like listening to this message. When we was like the first major platform that was like Jones Strike. Everyone else was still pushing incrementalism.
Right? And that's not going to help anybody at all. Well, it'll help the fucking rich. It'll help the people who own the big companies and shit.
Exactly. And
Is-
how can you call yourself a leftist, especially in the middle of a climate crisis, calling for incrementalism? Like the scientists are clear. We can't have incremental change in the middle of a climate crisis, which has to be a class struggle. Any climate bill, any climate discussion without class struggle taking on the 1% that emits more than 50% of the global poor, the U.S. Without taking on the U.S. military, like this is the U.S. left, and it drives me crazy. At least maybe I gotta be careful because that's the institutional left. Because you and Cam Dada, I mean, there is a real left in this country. It's just there's no semblance of it on the inside game. I just want to say that. But anyway, Nolly, go ahead before I keep rambling.
okay. So that town where that Hyundai plant is, it is number 9 out of the most racist towns in Alabama. It is a modern day sundown town. So go figure that they have these kids there working, and of course I bet you there wasn't one white kid there working. But I thought I would bring that up just because I wanted to see what the pictures of the town look kind of eh. And I guess the local cops there, nobody has jurisdiction where this plant is at. And so they had to go through all these fucking bullshit loops and shit to like actually go after Hyundai. I think they probably built it there for a reason. because the rich are the best criminals out there.
Yeah, I've been one of the reasons why I snapped out of supporting the establishment because I'm a results person. Well, I care more about results than anything. Like I don't know how like people that live in red states and everywhere is really fucked up, but there was a UN inspector general that was just in the South and said the conditions down there are so bad, and I've seen it in a lot of these areas that they qualify like as bad as we will view like a third world country, right? Like literally feces was found in their water supply. And the reason why I bring this up is because this is the same neoliberal, neocon policies that led to a slave plant being allowed in Alabama. That's the decreasing regulation, free market baby ideology. It's just the South was destroyed by these insane um, capitalist policies. I was in South Carolina on the ground talking to people, and it's like I'll walk around, and I'm not like I grew up poor. Like my mom was a single mom with 3 kids. In no shape or form did I grow up middle class even. But I was in South Carolina walking around where people didn't have internet, running water. I was like, what the fuck? I literally didn't know people lived that bad in this country. It's like Jesus. I would talk to people about what they need, and they're like, "Yeah, we just need water. We need water. We need healthcare. We need internet." It's like Jesus. And the reason I bring that up because these policies allow that slave company to exist, Nolly. Um, yeah,
God, that's horrible. That makes me fucking sick.
yeah. It's not everyone has a chance to do it, but if you ever like actually see how a lot of people live and I'm sure like there's a lot of areas, especially like Skid Row. I'm not saying it's only the South. But man, the quality of life down there, like worst to worst, is literally mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Well, when I was a kid, I grew up. We had no running water and we had no electricity, but we were so far out in the fucking boondocks. We had a well, and we ended up getting electricity eventually.
Yeah, I don't know. Like like I'm not trying to be judgmental or anything, but hopefully they're happy. But it seems like they wanted more, and it seems like the ruling class is stealing from these people. And
Well,
that's
they are. They're 100% stealing from these people. I did a story not too long ago about this graveyard that's in this town, and it's supposed to be a black cemetery that was left by a slave owner. When he died, he left this property to the black community in fucking this town, so they had a place to bury their fucking dead. And it was supposed to be for free. You know, you can't charge anything. It is already given to the black community. And these assholes are fucking charging people to bury people there, and they're burying them on top of people. There's mass graves in there, and it's just horrible. And they're raping these people for this fucking money that they should never have to pay for.
yeah. It's crazy how much the quality of life has dropped in this country, and their response is to give us more cops. LC's response is to make it cheaper to bury your dead. That's capitalist realism for you in action. Like people, they know this shit. That they don't think this shit's gonna change. Um,
Yeah, I don't either.
they don't want to do what's necessary to make a change, at least, right?
Well, yeah, fuck no. There's too many people that are siphoning off of that tit, and even local governments do fucking. This area that I live in, there's one cop car in the entire county that has a dash cam and is facing the wrong fucking way. I have video footage from this dash cam. Okay, it is facing.
So he pretty much like he doing a selfie drive cam. He want people to see what he looked like while he's driving. That's essentially what he's doing.
So next thing I wanted to discuss is how to protect yourself during a protest. So we all know what the cops do. We all know how dirty they get, and we know that they will harm innocent people for no fucking reason, just because they want to, because they can, because power does what it wants. So there's a few things that you can do and take with you that will help keep you safe. So everybody knows, of course, a gas mask. It might be kind of expensive, but they're getting cheaper now that, uh, COVID is kind of ramping down, or it's not really ramping down. It's still fucked up, but it's not in the news every fucking minute. So things like that are getting cheaper. If you don't have one of those, you want to take a mask of some kind or a face covering of some kind and dip it in either lemon juice or vinegar. And I know vinegar is kind of hardcore to be smelling on, but whatever.
Love it.
And put a couple inside of a plastic baggie and stick it in your pocket. And if they pop out those, oh my goodness, the spray shit. Mace.
And also,
they got the pepper spray and the pepper balls and stuff. Or the little smoker fucking canisters. You want to cover your face with that lemon juice soaked rag. Another thing that you're going to want to do is take an umbrella with you. It will protect you from, believe it or not, it will protect you from those projectiles. Another thing you want to have with you is a thermos with water. For every cup of water you have in there, you want 2 tablespoons of baking soda. When they pop those canisters out at you, you want to, with gloved hands, quick as you can, get to that canister, stick it inside of the thermos, seal it, shake it up like crazy, and then dump it out. And it'll be gone, out, dead. It ain't gonna smoke anymore. It'll neutralize everything that's in there. Just little things to help keep you safe.
Also, do not bring your smartphone. If you do, is there I don't know, is there a way to turn the location tracking off? Bring a burner phone. Like if you got a burner phone, bring one of those.
Right.
Don't bring your phone.
And if you get picked up and they fuck with your phone and they take your phone off of you, throw it the fuck away when you leave the fucking jail.
Yes, it's better to replace your phone and go through legal fees and that bullshit.
I agree.
So that's smart. And because I saw this guy when I was at George Floyd protest, like, damn, this motherfucker's smart. He had knee pads on, elbow pads on, and I know that seemed like try hardy, but I saw this graph and this illustration. It was it was showing these Tokyo protesters. No matter how you feel about that, I know a lot of people think that some of these people was. Did I say Tokyo? Sorry, Beijing protesters. I know a lot of people think they was like ops, like capitalist ops, which may be true, but that doesn't change the fact that they had good protesting tactics.
Every protest has them in them. I don't care I don't care how tiny the town you got, and there's only 30 people out there. Trust me, 3 of them are paid to be there.
Yeah, so like no matter how you feel about the Beijing protest, they was on the top of their game. Like they had people that had elbow pads and knee pads, so they can start crawling, and so they can defend themselves when the police would attack them. Because a lot of people will get injured, and I know this just by training martial arts and jiu-jitsu. Like you, especially on concrete, like you injure your limbs and shit. It's harder to be combat ready. So that and you had a lot of great suggestions as well. But yeah, make sure you gear it up. Make sure you that you prepare. It's not prep rally. Like it's you're resisting the state, and at least this is something that I had to keep in mind, right? Because like I'm black and I'm protesting America. We are targets, but like we gotta be careful. Like you gotta know what this is, not a prep rally. But
yeah, and being a black man, especially fucking, you go into a protest and you are target number 1. Every fucking time you're going to be target number 1.
Yeah, that's why I love the white allies. There were a lot of them I saw. There was a lot of good. There were a lot of people that was at the George Floyd protest. I still remember at the Kansas City George Floyd protest. There was this white girl. She was screaming. She was like, "White people, we gotta put our bodies out in front." I was like, "Base as fuck." I was like, "Baby," and then there's some people that were standing. The white people standing in front of the police officers, and they're like, "You won't shoot us. You won't shoot us." And I was like, "Damn." Like we need more white allies, but the ones that we do have is base as hell. I will say that. Like especially when he's on the ground.
I agree. It's amazing, especially with the A1 community and the cop watching community. It doesn't matter if they're left wing, right wing, fucking no wing. all feet, it don't matter.
Dude, we had those right wingers there.
There is a unity amongst the quote unquote races in this community, I think, and I have not. The people who are shitty like that, they get ran off pretty quick. It's not tolerated, and I'm seeing that more and more now in the recent, I don't know, past 6-8 months, where white people are standing up for people of color and saying, no, you're not going to fucking do this. It was just like 3 or 4 months ago that up in Seattle, where a bunch of white people surrounded a Mexican family who ICE was there to fucking take them all away. And they surrounded this family.
Yeah, I saw that.
And locked arms and would not let the cops fucking near them or let ICE near them. No, you can fucking grab gravel and travel. Get the fuck out of here.
That isn't that should I should say isn't that, but shouldn't that be the future of the left? Like that's kind of what RBN.
That should 100% be the future of the left. It should be the future of fucking the left, the right, the fucking middle, the fucking top and the bottom.
Right.
You know, I honestly believe that, you know, as far as left and right goes and elected officials, they are playing for the same motherfucker. They're trading scapegoats. You know, it's whose turn is it now to blame for why this didn't happen, or who's to blame for why this did happen? And they use this left-right bullshit to get to the root of our fucking ugliness and to start looking at each other sideways. And instead of fighting against them, we're fighting amongst each other on a lot of things, because it is insane how some of my right-wing friends, we see eye to eye on so much, and the stuff we differ on is kind of fucking petty and stupid, but I don't care. I'm stubborn, so I'm still going to argue.
Yes, I can't believe people fall for it too, because it's obvious what it, like divide and conquer is like the oldest trick in the book, and then people will say that. Like people will say, "Yeah, divide and conquer, the old trick in the book," and then they will fall for it. Like, how y'all keep falling for it? Like we all know what they're doing, and a lot of people on the right is guilty of it as well. Liberals are very guilty of it, because when you do like when you can get them to calm down, like, all right, stop focus on the cultural war. Let's sit down and talk about what we think the role of the state is. Let's talk about economics, and you even can trick a lot of these motherfuckers into agreeing that we should have healthcare. Right? Like I tricked a lot of people into actually agreeing to that. It's just you gotta get people.
I mean, really, it's not so much a trick. It's just speaking to them in a language they fucking understand.
Right. Right. And it's like if you can get them away from the cultural war, we can come to a terms of agreement. And the reason why I keep sharing this story, because it's my favorite. At least the top 3 out of all my hundreds of people I talked to while I was canvassing. I tell this story. You may have heard it. I know you watch my shows. Where
I do. I love your show.
Yeah, we love you, Nolly. But I tell this story all the time when I talk to this black Republican dude in South Carolina, and he wasn't a bad guy, but he started off immediately hostile because I had like Bernie. I had a Bernie shirt on, and I had like this Eat the Rich hat, so it was obvious I was a socialist. So he immediately was defensive, right? And then he was like, the reason why I'm a black Republican is because the Democrats here are destroying the black family. They're pushing godless lifestyles on us. So then I'm like, bro, just put that away. You care about the quality of the black family, right? I do too. That's why I don't support Democrats. So once I told him I didn't like Democrats, that made him ease his guard down, because that's why liberals would never make ground with them, because if you're partisan, you're not going to be able to influence these people. So the fact that I told him, I don't like Obama, I don't like Democrats either. They did destroy the black family. They let his guard down. And I'm like, bro, the best thing you can do for the black family is provide health care, increase their wages, give them more time off. That's how you increase the family, the quality of the black family. And then when I said that, I was expecting follow-up. But then he was like, surprisingly, he was like, you know what, I actually agree with you, bro. He's like, I agree with you, man. I don't like the Democrats, though. Like the Democrats are destroyers, but yeah, you make sense, man. I would have to think about everything you said, but I got nothing against you. And I was shocked actually. That's why I told the story. I'm like, damn, I was expecting to fight more. But you see how people are like divided. And this guy initially he's tricked by the culture war, right? But then we slow him down, get him to talk about kitchen table issues. That's when we come to agreement, and that's what I found. You know, it's not going to work on everybody, but
sometimes you've got to send a white man in to talk to a white man because they won't hear anybody else the same way they will a white man.
Yeah, that dude was a black Republican. I reached him in a way that maybe a white leftist probably wouldn't have, to be honest.
Right? They need to be, well, it's just like children in school. They need to be able to see teachers and teachers' aides, and so that they can relate to by just looking at them. That person knows what it's like to be like me. I feel comfortable and safe here. I'm not going to feel singled out because there's somebody here like me who's in charge, and that makes a big fucking difference in the kids' fucking school years. It really fucking does.
Yeah, I agree.
I watched my niece go through fucking hell at an all-white fucking school up in up North Seattle, and she was with us for 2 years. My sister just couldn't fucking handle her. She was wild.
I'm actually lucky. I grew up in a diverse, like Kansas City has like 3 times higher than the national average of black people, like 33%.
Really? I didn't know that.
And yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Like, it's really like that's why it's blue. Like, people just assume it's all red, but Kansas City actually really blue because of the amount of Latinos and black people we have here. But it's very neoliberal. It's very it's dominated by the Black Congressional Caucus, right? Our
person in that caucus.
Yeah, I that's why that's why I go after them all the time. Our congressperson is a member of the Black Congressional Caucus. All the small city council members, they all black neoliberals, right? But that's because the reason I do that, the reason I bring it up, because we like mostly black. But where I grew up, there were a lot of black people and there were a lot of Latinos as well. And then, like, if I had to guess, like, I don't got the right stats. I might be way off. But the way it seemed like there was like 50% black people, 25% Latino, and then 25% white. But that actually led to, like, we was all cool. Like, it wasn't because like the most racist people are the people who don't hang out with black people, right? And
you never see them anyway because they ain't gonna hang out where you hang out.
Yeah, so like I was lucky because like we all got fucking along. I couldn't imagine because my mom, she was like one of the first black people here. Because it's a long story, but now the area I live, like white people ran. Like my mom and a few other black people moved here, and it was all white. Like literally where I'm living right now, it was all white in the 80s. And then just like the trope of whenever black people move in, there goes the neighborhood. Literally, that's what happened. My mom moved in, a few black families moved in, and then all the white families moved out. And now it's like mostly black. Literally, I don't know how that even happens. How did that happen in only like 20 years? If you look at my mom's yearbook, she went to the same high school as me, literally all white. Then my yearbook, 25, 30 years later, is mostly black and Latino. That because a lot of them white families just dipped because they saw, I don't know. That's just my theory.
Well, if you look at gentrification, I mean, it's the opposite way around. You know, it's getting priced out of their homes and their apartments and shit, and then white people come in and putting in a bodega that ain't got no dust in it. You know. Yeah,
and there's a lot of gentrification in Kansas City. That's why it's super weird because my mom's situation is like opposite of it, where the quality of the neighborhood dropped significantly. Like we don't have the investments as they did when this was in a white neighborhood, like the property value dropped, and then black people took over. And gentrification is like opposite, right? Where they push up property values and drive out the original residents because they make it nicer, quote unquote nicer, right? So that's why it's weird. And the reason why I bring that up because like you said, like if you were like the only black person all white, they were like that could be rough. Then my mom had stories like that from the 80s. When she was like only one of 3 black people in high school. Then I grew up and it was like we all like mostly black, but we was like hopefully I didn't miss anything, but I didn't see like we was all cool. Like to be honest, like we were probably too loose to be honest, because there were a lot of Mexicans and there were a lot of white people that was like it was so loose, there were a lot of Mexicans and white people that was saying the N-word. And looking back, like damn, we probably shouldn't let them do that. Like I still remember, I'm not gonna say their names, but I still remember this dude. This dude, let's call him Anthony. That's not his name. Let's call him Anthony. And I like this dude. This dude was hella cool, but he was white as hell. And he used to play blackball with us. And I still remember this. He used to say the N-word all the time. We never said anything about it. It was like he was like one of us, and there were a lot of Mexicans that would say it too, and we just never. It wasn't really a problem either. Like we really did. Looking back at it, like damn, we probably definitely shouldn't like that. That's live. But anyway, that's another story. Go ahead, Nolly.
Oh, I'm actually getting ready to post in the live feed a list of Black-owned banks that you know, if y'all feel like supporting if you're gonna support a financial system, stay away from the white people. They're dangerous. Black-owned bank is not going to be a whole lot more, you know, on the up and up. All banks are shady, but you're safer. You're supporting people who need supporting, and why not? So I just posted a list of them right there in the feed, and Trump said, right? You're exactly. I don't say it either. I don't even like my black family saying it. I'm just like, get that shit the fuck out of my house. Stop it. But
yeah, that's why a lot of white people don't understand, and not you obviously, but like there's some white people that said, well, if you guys can say the N-word, why can't I say it? I'm like, you guys realize I would get my ass beat if I said that in front of my mom and my uncles, right? So
right?
even black people not allowed to say. That's why it never makes, like, I'll be honest, I do say sometimes like not as much now I'm older, but when I was younger, like around friends. But
Yeah.
like whenever I was like in a business setting, whenever I was around family or any formal place, I would never say it.
Yeah, you'd never say that shit in front of your grandma, or yeah.
That's why the white people would say, well, why can you say no? We really can't. I don't know what you're talking about. If we need to show restraint, you have motherfuckers should be able to show restraint too, right? Just in general.
Mute yourself.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Or did you unplug my goddamn audio? Yeah, you did.
Can you hear me?
Sorry, go on. I got yeah.
Yeah. I was just finishing my point by saying if I have to if we had to show restraint, like how's it even a question that y'all had to show restraint? Just that simple. I see you, Brian, because Brian said 2 wrongs don't make a right. No one should say it as well. I respect that. I respect.
Please continue because I'm having technical issues, but continue discussion, please.
Yeah. That's a valid position. I mean, I'm not. I used to use it all the time because I was a big fan of taking it back. But I don't like making anyone feel uncomfortable. So that's why I will only use them on my friends. And I don't think anything wrong with that as me as a black person. Just saying among my friends. I don't think there's anything wrong with it either. I think you're right. But I do respect, and if you're a black person like Brian, it seems like you are. So I don't want to. Maybe I should be careful. I'm just looking at your profile picture. I can't really see that well either. But if a black person is to me and say, "Oh, I don't want you saying that shit," I wouldn't even be mad. Like, all right, that's cool, man. That's something I respect because I think it's valid. I see the argument of hijacking language too. I see both arguments. That's just my personal take on that, just based on that comment I said.
I think there was an era, there was a time and a place, and we're getting to the point where okay, so if you look at the LGBTQ community, they are starting to take words back that were once offensive, and now people are identifying as queer. And that was when I was a kid. You didn't say that word, especially if you were around my auntie. You didn't get to say that shit.
Yeah, I remember. I thought that was a slur too. I thought queer was a slur for a long time, and then they started calling themselves that. I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's cool. It's cool now.
And that is taking their power back. But you know what? In another fucking 15, 20 years, it is going to be something that is rarely heard because it's just out of respect. And to look at somebody and see them as just a person, and not see them as their sexual preference or their sexual identity or their their color, their skin, or their education level, or where they were fucking from, or what they fucking look like. You know, when people start to really look at the heart of other human beings instead of their circumstances and things that they can't do anything about.
Well said, my friend. Well said.
But I do have some black family members and friends who will say cracker, and when you say it, it cracks me up. Because they all every single one will stop and look over at me. And I find it fucking hard. It's like, what, you expect me to be bad? Fucking go for it. I don't give a shit.
I don't. I should be careful.
That's all I ask is don't call me a savage. That shit pisses me off.
I should be careful, but I never understood why that's like because what make a slur is historical context, right? And that's why I should be careful. Cause I guess I really shouldn't speak for anyone, but I don't understand how cracker is an offensive slur to people.
I think it's hilarious.
Because the N word is like, bro, it got long term historical context of dehumanization. There's so, and that goes for a lot of slurs too. I'm not just saying that our slur is the only thing that should be a slur. Like the F word that ends with G.
Spaz. Spaz is a slur now? What the fuck? When did spaz become a fucking slur? I want to know because nobody told me.
They get really mad when you say it though. So I just like if we mock an idea of you being a oppressor because you cracked the whip, like a slave owner. That's where the term cracker comes from. I don't know why that would upset someone. Like whenever when you hear the origins of wetback, they call Mexicans wetback because they crossed the border. I'm like, damn, that's offensive. Like to me, that sounds offensive. But cracker, and once again, I'm being careful. I may be out of bounds here. I don't know why that would upset anybody. Just with the context and often like the humorous way it was used. Like it was like used in black comedies to talk about slave owners. Why would that piss people off? I don't get it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm being ignorant. I don't know.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think there's a white person in the feed who would be offended by being called a cracker. That I don't.
I think I might be now that I know what it means.
Well, yeah, right.
I thought
this is Lacey.
You didn't know what it meant.
I had no idea, but I thought I knew. I thought it was just had white bread crackers. Cracker.
Actually, that's more offensive because that's making fun of how you look, right? Like that's more offensive.
Well, calling me a cracker like I had anything to do with slavery is offensive. I came. My family came here from. I wasn't even here. My family wasn't even in this country, so
that could be your response. Like if someone ever called you that, like motherfucker, I wasn't from here. I don't know.
I'm only second generation American, but slavery ran through everybody's past. It's been a pastime of the human race since the beginning.
Right.
It sure has.
It's certainly not new, and it still goes on to this day.
My tribe used to fucking steal women from neighboring tribes. And
yeah,
neighboring tribes would come in and why don't you just have a mixer? I don't understand. Why do you have to just go and steal women from some other tribe?
Well, they had to do that for their, otherwise they get inbred.
Well,
they weren't stupid.
Why
They knew.
Why didn't they just throw a fucking party and let people meet?
Well, I guess they didn't want to take the time and trouble to socialize.
Oh my god.
But the Native Americans didn't really care about your race.
Nope.
Either, and they would breed with anybody that they liked. I don't think they did with their actual.
I'll practice breeding with anybody that I'm just. Practicing is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So the reason I asked you up here, Lacey, is because Camp Dada, I talked about Camp Dada a couple of weeks ago. They are going to be doing a letter writing campaign over the holiday weekend next month. And they want to write letters for Eric and to Eric. And so I need that information. As far as, what's the best way to, I don't even know where he's at anymore because I know he recently moved.
Oh, I have all that.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to need all of that. And so that we can give it to Camp Data. I was thinking about also like maybe, I know it's fucking pointless, but maybe giving them the information to contact or write letters to the judicial disciplinary fucking judges. Judges should not have anything to do with judicial disciplinary fucking actions. I think that's fucking horseshit. Just saying.
Absolutely. Eric got totally screwed.
He did.
I don't know what they should do, but you shouldn't have judges ruling on a case that has judges in it. And that judge even said that.
Yeah, he did.
God, I hate that guy.
Me too.
He
Me
was
too.
nasty. But you know what? Eric is working on an appeal. The problem is the process takes so long that what he has to hope for is an appeal bond. Otherwise, his appeal will go on past the time he should get out. At the rate they're going now,
That is crazy.
That's something I'd like to fix because he has a good appeal, but I think it's 2 years maybe just to get a hearing to see if he can get an appeal bond.
That ain't right. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
But if he can't get that appeal bond and be out while he fights the appeal, it's pointless. Like I said, because he will be out before the appeal process ends.
And the thing is, I mean, dude, he walked the fucking wire really fucking close to it, but he chose his words very carefully.
Yeah.
And he did not break the law.
No.
And it bothers me. It really bothers me that Taya was just like, we, basically said he was threatening them. But no, bitch, he wasn't. You fucking know he wasn't, but I get it. The powers that be at TRN are like, hey, you need to make sure and say this, or
yeah,
it look bad.
I haven't talked to her about that, but I have noticed that as well, and I understood right away why she was doing that. You have to do that if you want to walk the line, and she's got to walk a line in order to do her job.
Exactly. All reporters have to, these days. I don't care if they're independent or not. I mean, so nobody is going to tell Nick what he can and cannot say on his show on RBN and on his channel. Nobody's going to say shit. Now, Nick is amazing. He attacks the left, the right, the center. He goes after them all because he knows they're all fucking crooked. And I love that.
Yeah, my
one of my favorite people, Nick. You're one of my favorite people. I just want to squeeze your fucking face.
much love to you, Nolly. My main goal is to get people out of the Democrat and Republican Party, and Democrats and Republicans are kicking and screaming while do it. There are people that tell me all the time. I inspire them to mutual aid, stop voting Democrat, and that's exactly the kind of shit I want to do. So, that's why it's good. It's good that we're doing this community and we're doing mutual aid. Like you guys playing Camp Dada. I got RBN, Kansas City Tour for the Poor running here. So it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah, if you guys don't know about Camp Dada, go back to, I think it was my last video or the video before, and go and check that shit out. It is going to be, there's going to be a group of people taking over the campgrounds in the Hamptons. And they're just going to take up space where the rich people like to go and fucking, be at on holiday weekends. And they're going to be teaching people about, activism, what they can do. They're gonna try and pass me in so that I can be there one way or another to talk about police accountability and how to handle a police officer who's trying to violate your rights. There's going to be that letter writing campaign. There is going, I believe they are renting a cabin for people with disabilities to stay in, so that they're not actually at the campgrounds at night, so that they have what they need. They're making it very inclusive, and it's yeah. If you guys are interested and you're in that area, or you can get to that area, check it out. There's links and everything on the video, and fucking go. You'll get to meet like the Banks sisters, and I think, is Kim going? Burn it down, Kim Brown, is she going? Do you know?
Who are you talking to?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
Nick. Oh, he's taking a hit.
Joe Sano was more close. Like she know more. I have no idea if they're going in particular. I know Blue Moon Red Wine.
I love her so much. I love Lucy. She's amazing.
I know she also she's great. Like very great organizer. So she's helping as well. There's a lot of people in the RBN community that's helping out, but I know for sure there are. I don't know the one that you say in particular is helping, but I gotta look at my Twitter DM because we got a big Twitter DM group. I can always just look in there. But.
Polly, he's here for the cactus giveaway. What the fuck?
I think that's funny because I've been trying to grow succulent cactus and I keep killing the fuckers.
Oh my god, I have a Christmas cactus here that is over 100 years old. It belonged to my grandma's mother.
Yeah, they say these are the immortal plants, and I can't keep them alive. I keep killing them. They, I can grow anything, I guess, except a succulent. It's really, I put hundreds of dollars into these plants.
Tell me that succulent doesn't sound like a dirty word.
Yeah, it does. And all the, names that you come up it with, sucky and,
yeah, kind of in there, succulent, kind of in there. I love that word. It's my favorite word.
It's powerful. It's a powerful word. I feel like you describing something dirty when you say it.
Yes, yeah, I agree. That is exactly succulent sounds like that.
I feel like there's not a lot of clean ways to use that.
There isn't, dude. And now every time you hear it, you're gonna be like, "Ooh, really?"
like that's like one of the last. That's like one of the last descriptions you want someone to call you. Like imagine someone like Nick is succulent. I'm like, no, don't call me that. The fuck.
It just means you're juicy.
Way dirty. I love it.
It just means you're juicy. That's exactly what it means.
I'm more comfortable when you call me juicy than succulent. To be honest.
Hey guys, we are at the hour mark. We gotta call her a quit.
Yeah.
This is fun. I had a good time.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming.
CJ just hit me up. Apparently, we're doing Nick and CJ today. So.
Oh, he feels better. He's gonna come back.
Yeah, he's feeling better now.
Nice.
Yeah, which is good. It was kind of scary, but I'll let him share if he wants.
Yeah.
He did not tell us what happened today. So, that's why I'm gonna get ready to do that. So, good conversation, y'all.
All right, love you guys. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Lacey, don't go nowhere.
Okay.